Wednesday night, and we've got a doubleheader that speaks volumes. First, the Knicks at home running a 7-game streak hosting Orlando's Young Magic. Then out west, the league-leading Thunder face the Lakers. Short-handed but still dangerous. 2 arenas, 2 streaks, 1 night of statement basketball. The Hardwood Report starts right now. Undefeated at home, look to keep their 7-game home win streak alive as they host the Orlando Magic. The Knicks enter at 7-3, second in the Eastern Conference, and fresh off a season where they finished 51-31 overall, including 34 wins against the East. New York averaged nearly 116 points per game last year, thriving in the paint and capitalizing off turnovers. Orlando, meanwhile, comes in at 5-6, sitting 10th in the East. The Magic were a 500 team last season, 41-41, but they've shown flashes of defensive grit and balance. They averaged just over 105 points per game last year, leaning on paint production and opportunistic fast breaks. Injuries tonight: Mitchell Robinson is day-to-day with an ankle for New York, while Moritz Wagner is out for Orlando with a knee injury. Bottom line, the Knicks are favored by 3.5, but Orlando will look to spoil the streak in the Garden. Then in the nightcap, it's the Los Angeles Lakers against the league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder have been nothing short of dominant 11-1 to start the season, first in the Western Conference, and riding a 5-game home win streak. Last year, they posted a remarkable 68-14 record with 36 wins at home, averaging over 120 points per game while shooting nearly 48% from the field. The Lakers at 8-3 sit 4th in the West. They finished 50-32 last season, built on defense and discipline, averaging 7.7 steals and 4.5 blocks per game. But tonight they'll be shorthanded. LeBron James is still out with sciatica, Gabe Vincent sidelined with an ankle, and Thero out with a knee injury. Oklahoma City has its own concerns. Aaron Wiggins, Lugnut Stewart, and Jalen Williams all listed day-to-day, while Nikola Topic, Kendrick Williams, and Thomas Sober are out. Bottom line, the Thunder are favored by 6.5, and they'll look to prove once again while they're the class of the West. So 2 games, 2 streaks on the line. The Knicks trying to keep the Garden rocking. The Thunder looking to extend their dominance in Oklahoma City. It's Orlando and New York, followed by Los Angeles and Oklahoma City coming up tonight. More on those games in a moment, but first, here's what's trending in the NBA. Mavericks Governor Patrick Dumont has taken a cautious stance regarding Anthony Davis's return from a left calf strain. Dumont has requested medical data proving that Davis is not at risk of aggravating the injury before granting clearance. Although Davis has been listed as questionable for 3 straight games, he will miss his 7th consecutive contest against the Phoenix Suns. Davis had originally targeted last Saturday's road game against the Washington Wizards for his comeback. However, a disagreement arose between Mavericks Director of Health and Performance, Jonathan Billisburg, and Davis's personal medical staff. Dumont ultimately sided with Bisborough, preferring to err on the side of caution rather than risk a setback. This decision underscored Dumont's eroded trust in general manager Nico Harrison, who had supported Davis's return. Harrison was fired yesterday morning, a move that reflected the growing tension within the organization. The concern surrounding Davis is heightened by the possibility of catastrophic injuries if he returns too soon. Similar to what happened to Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton, who ruptured his Achilles tendon in the NBA Finals since arriving in Dallas as the centerpiece of the controversial Luka Doncic trade. Davis has played only 14 games in 2 play-in outings. His availability has been limited by multiple injuries, including an abdominal issue at the time of the trade and a adductor strain suffered after rushing back for his Mavericks home debut in February. That setback sidelined him for 6 weeks. Further, complicating his tenure in Dallas. The Los Angeles Clippers guard Bradley Beal will undergo season-ending surgery after fracturing his left hip, his agent Mark Bartenstein confirmed. Bartenstein emphasized that Beal is expected to make a full and complete recovery, noting that the decision was reached unanimously after consultations with multiple specialists and the Clippers' medical staff. Beal left Saturday's game against the Phoenix Suns with hip soreness, and Coach Tyronn Lue had indicated earlier in the week that imaging would determine his status. At 32, Beal has struggled in his first season with Los Angeles, averaging a career lows of 8.2 points and 1.7 rebounds across 6 games. Over his 14-year career, he has averaged 21.4 points and 4.3 assists in 807 games with the Wizards, Suns, and Clippers. He signed a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Clippers this past offseason, including a player option for 2026, which could set him up for free agency next summer. The Clippers have gone 1-3 without Beal this season. His on-court presence has been problematic, though, defensively, with the team posting a 128.5 defensive efficiency in his 121 minutes played, the worst mark on the roster, compared to a 113.8 when he is off the floor. His absence now forces the Clippers to adjust their rotation and lean on other backcourt options as they push forward without the 3-time All-Star. The National Basketball Association has announced sweeping changes to the All-Star Game, reintroducing the United States versus the World concept, but with a twist. 3 teams will compete, each with 8-man rosters. 2 teams will feature American players, while the third will be composed of international stars. Player selection will still involve fan, media, and player voting for starters, with coaches choosing reserves, but positional requirements have been eliminated. Instead, the 5 top getters will start regardless of position, and the next 7 will be named as reserves. To ensure balance between American and international players, Commissioner Adam Silver will add extra selections if voting does not naturally yield the required 16 Americans and 8 internationals. For example, if the pool produces only 14 Americans, Silver would appoint 2 more to meet the minimum threshold. If only 6 internationals are chosen, he would add 2 more to reach 8. The league hopes the new format will integrate the event and bring some new energy to it, which has struggled to capture player intensity in recent years. NBC, taking over the broadcast from TNT under the new television deal, will integrate All-Star Weekend into its Winter Olympics coverage. As part of this shift, the game will move to a 5 p.m. Eastern Time start time, following a Team USA hockey matchup. Gameplay will also change, with the first 3 quarters structured as round-robin contests among the 3 teams. Each team will play twice, and the 2 best teams will advance to a final championship quarter. If all 3 finish 1-1, point differential will determine the finals. This year's All-Star Weekend will be held at the Clippers Intuit Dome in Los Angeles beginning Friday, February 13th. Looking forward to All-Star Game. Also looking forward to the Winter Olympics. And we will, of course, have it all for you right here on the Hardwood Report and the Ryder Report. Now, let's talk about the game of the night. And that is the Lakers and the Thunder. Out in Oklahoma City, 9:30 tip. Thunder favored by 6.5. And let me tell you something. This one's got storylines all over the place. You've got the defending champs, the youngest champs since the 79 Sonics, sitting at 11-1. You've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP, Finals MVP, the whole deal, leading a team that's hungry enough to convince you they didn't just win a title. And then on the other side, you've got Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves putting up one of the best weeks we've seen from a Laker not named LeBron in, what, a decade? Now listen, this Thunder team, they're not acting like a team that's already climbed the mountain. They won 68 games last year. They hoist the trophy, and instead of sitting around taking pictures with the banner, they come out 11-1. You know what that tells you? That tells you they've got a championship mindset. They're not drunk on the champagne from June. They're already thinking about May. That's culture. That's Sam Presti. That's Mark Dingelnut. This is a group that talks about builders, not guardians. I love that. That's not about protecting what you did. It's about building the next thing. And Shea, this guy's the real deal. Humble superstar. Hides his MVP trophy in the playoffs. Doesn't want to see it. Doesn't want to think he's arrived. That rubs off in the locker room. You've got Dort, Holmgren, Jalen Williams. Guys who play like every possession still matters. They're disciplined. They don't have the big egos you usually see after a championship. But tonight, they're running into a team that's got one of the league's best stories going on right now, and that's Austin Reeves. Look, this guy is not just a nice little role player anymore. 51 in Sacramento, 41 the next night in L.A., game winner in Minnesota. He's at a $241 million week. That's what it's worth. That's the number if he stays in L.A. You want to talk about betting on yourself? This guy turned down $89 million over the summer. Now he's starting at almost triple that because he's carried the Lakers while LeBron and Doncic have been hurt. And I'll tell you, J.J. Redick's done something interesting here. He's challenged Reeves. Told him, you're not the undrafted kid anymore. And you can see it. He's embraced leadership. You see him directing traffic, controlling tempo, feeding teammates. He's been the glue keeping this team together. He's basically the bridge between eras. The LeBron window's closing. We know that. And whatever comes next, I don't know what this means, but it's you're going to see it tonight because the Lakers are 8-3. And yes, they've been shorthanded. No LeBron, no Vincent, some depth issues. Luka was hurt for a little bit, and they've leaned on Reeves for scoring. But he's also been logging heavy minutes. Meanwhile, the Thunder, they've been cruising, even with guys like Jalen Williams and Dort banged up. They've got depth. They've got cohesion. And they've got that championship poise. You look at the matchup numbers. OKC's putting up 120 a night, shooting 48%. They've won 5 straight at home, and they defend as well as anybody. The Lakers, they've been good defensively, but the question is, can they score enough without LeBron to hang around? You can't go toe-to-toe with the Thunder team unless you can hit shots, and Reeves can't do it by himself. So here's the key. If the Lakers are going to have a chance, Reeves has to play with control. Get to the line. Get others involved and keep this game in the 100-110 range. If it turns into a track meet, forget it. Thunder by double digits. But here's what I think it's going to get interesting. This isn't a prove-it game for the Thunder. They've already proved it. It's a statement game. This is where they tell the league, yeah, we're the champs, and we're not slowing down. And for Reeves, this is where he shows whether this is a breakout week. You know, was it just a week in the NBA, or is this moment? Is this a moment that he's officially arrived as an NBA star? They say, Ryder, who do you pick? Who do you pick? This is tough, but I'm going to take the Thunder because they've got the depth, the defense, and the continuity. But I'll say this. If Austin Reeves can hang 35 again and keep this one close late, that number on his next contract might start with a 2 and end with a 4-1. Thunder 118, Lakers 110, if I had to guess the story. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. It's going to be a great game, 9:30 Eastern. Okay, tip-off at top of the hour, Knicks and the Magic. At the Garden, national TV again, primetime spotlight. You know this is where it belongs. Madison Square Garden, lights bright, crowd loud. And the Knicks right now, they're starting to look like the team that I thought they would be. They're 7-3, second in the East, and playing their best basketball of the young season. This isn't the same slow start, grinded out Knicks from October. This team has found an offensive rhythm, and I mean really found it. In November, they've got the best offensive rating in the league, not top 5, not top 3, number 1. And you can see it in the way they move the ball. The ball doesn't stick anymore. There's pace, there's spacing, and there's shooting. The threes at high clip, over 40% on catch and shoot looks, which leads the NBA. That's called execution. That's coaching. Mike Brown knows what he's doing, and the players are buying in. Now let's set the scene. Knicks are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 228.5. They're on the second night of a back-to-back, which can be tricky, but the Garden crowd gives them juice. And this is a team that's won 7 straight at home. That's real. That's not a fluke. Orlando comes in under 500 at 5-6. And they're one of those crossroads, that you get early in the year, and they've made a big swing for Desmond Bane in the offseason, thinking that would fix the scoring issues. Hasn't really done much to impress me, but they're still around 20th in offensive efficiency. And defensively, which was their calling card, they've slipped to 19th. That's the issue. If you're not an elite team on either side, you're going to hover around 500 all season. Now they're feeling good. They come off that wild win over Portland. Bane hits the game winner and bench goes nuts. Great moment. But you don't win at the Garden with vibes. You win with discipline. And this Knicks team, they're starting to show the kind of maturity and shot selection that travels. Let's talk keys to the game. Number 1, the early punch. The Knicks need to come out with energy. Yes, it's a back-to-back. The first half matters. Orlando's a young team. If you let them hang around, they start to believe. You get up double digits early. That crowd smells blood, and the Magic don't have the kind of poise to claw back from that. That's why I like the first half line. The Knicks -2.5. You get the early jump. You take control. Number 2, the three-point game. As I said, the Knicks have become a top 5 team in three-point frequency, but the Magic, they can't shoot. The bottom third in three-point percentage. That's your separation point, and you need to expose it. You can trade twos for threes all night if you're the Knicks, right? That's the math advantage. You knock down those open looks off Brunson's drives and Hart and Karl Anthony Towns' kickouts, and you'll win comfortably. Number 3, handle the length. Orlando's got size. That's what they do, okay? Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, big wings can put the ball on the floor. You've got to make them work. You can't let them live at the line or get downhill. Josh Hart's defense and OG Anunoby's presence, those are the matchups that matter tonight. Keep those guys to contested jumpers, and the rest of the Magic roster doesn't scare you. And let's not overlook Mr. Clutch, Jalen Brunson. He's been the tone setter, efficient, composed, steady when the offense starts to bog down. He gets them a good look every trip. That's what the point guards do. That's what makes him a star, because he knows how to control the tempo. He's the engine. On the Magic side, they've got the same talent. Bane's been solid. Banchero can go for 25 on any night. But they just don't have the firepower to match a Knicks team that's humming like this. You want to talk about trends. The Knicks have scored at least 118 points in 4 straight. The Magic have topped 110 just once in the last 5. That's a problem. You're not winning in the Garden with 107 points. Here's what I think happens tonight. The Knicks feed off that crowd early. You'll see them move the ball, get those open corner threes, and start pulling away the midway through the second quarter. Maybe the Magic hang around for a bit, but the Knicks' offensive rhythm, it's just too much for me. I think Brunson controls the pace. Randall gets his 22 and 10. Karl Anthony Towns hits some threes, and the Knicks roll. If you're betting, I like the Knicks -3.5 full game. Knicks -2.5 the first half. If you're playing the total, I lean over 228.5 because the Knicks are scoring is such an efficient clip right now. Final score, Knicks 121, Magic 108. That's your ball game. Knicks keep the streak alive at home, move to 8-3, and you start to really feel like, hey, this team's not just good. They're deep good. You've got scoring from everywhere. You've got buy-in, and you've got a Garden that's believing again. So, yeah, I like the Knicks tonight, early, often, and late. The Garden's going to be rocking. This team's clicking. Enjoy it. Because for the first time in a while, the Knicks are playing basketball that actually looks sustainable. That'll do it for the Hardwood Report. We will see you back here